Hurricane Zeta made landfall in Louisiana. Hurricane Zeta made landfall in the southeastern regions of Louisiana on Wednesday afternoon as a Category 2 storm. Zeta made landfall close to Cocoldre, Louisiana at 4 p.m. with maximum sustained winds of approximately 110 miles per hour. Forecasters are expecting that Zeta will weaken quickly as it races inland, but that it will bring strong damaging winds and heavy rainfall across parts of the south and east into late this week. After moving across the coast, Hurricane Zeta slammed into New Orleans. Its eye moved directly over the city. It cut electrical power to more than 80% of the residents in New Orleans. Reports have stated that more than 200 trees were knocked down across the city, and one man was electrocuted by downed power lines. The storm unleashed wind gusts of approximately 100 miles per hour in Louisiana and Mississippi. The high winds cut power to approximately 800,000 customers in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Coastal Mississippi was also subject to strong storm surges that raised water levels to approximately 9 feet above normally dry land at the coast, and this resulted in severe flooding. Hurricane Zeta is now expected to race through central Alabama, northern Georgia, and the mid-Atlantic. It will cover 1,250 miles through Thursday evening. There will be damaging winds which could stretch into the interior parts of Georgia, where gusts up to 50 miles per hour are forecast in Atlanta. Torrential rain is expected all along its path, with widespread amounts of 2 to 4 inches and locally up to half a foot. There is expectation that there will be some flooding in these regions as well. Zeta became the earliest 27th named storm on record in the Atlantic when it formed on Saturday, and it marked only the second instance of this many storms in a calendar year, matching the year 2005. But after rapidly intensifying in the Gulf of Mexico and making landfall as a strong Category 2 hurricane in the southeast regions of Louisiana, it established several other significant records. In its 26 hours prior to making landfall, Zeta's peak winds increased by 45 miles per hour, the most on record in the Gulf of Mexico so late in the Atlantic hurricane season. With maximum sustained winds of 110 miles per hour, it is the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the United States this late in the Atlantic hurricane season. It became the record 11th named storm to make landfall in the United States, extending the record set by Hurricane Delta when it struck the southwest regions of Louisiana in October. Prior to 2020, the most named storms to come ashore in a given season was 9 in 1916. It became the 6th hurricane to make landfall in the United States in 2020. Zeta is the 5th named storm to make landfall in Louisiana in 2020. It has surpassed the record that was held by the year 2005. It is also the 3rd hurricane to hit Louisiana in the year 2020, in addition to Hurricane Delta and Laura. The wind gusts of 71 miles per hour clocked at New Orleans International Airport may also be the strongest since Hurricane Isaac in August 2012. Currently, Hurricane Zeta is hitting the southeast regions of the United States savagely but swiftly. It has battered Louisiana and Mississippi, and then Zeta is expected to race to the northeast at breakneck pace. It's set to bring damaging winds and rain to a lengthy stretch of the south, the southeast, the Appalachians, and the mid-Atlantic. Whilst it is in the process, it will likely knock out power to hundreds of thousands more. It is also expected that the system will pack a punch farther inland than most tropical systems manage to, owing to its swift forward motion. By the time it outruns the life-giving waters of the Gulf, it will have already moved several hundred miles away from the coast. Helping to maintain its strength will be its connection to a disturbance in the jet stream, also responsible for sweeping it rapidly to the northeast region. The National Hurricane Center has stated that their forecast for Zeta's center is that it will be located between Birmingham and Montgomery in Alabama. 12 hours after that, it will be barreling through the southwest regions of Virginia. By early Friday morning, the remnants of Zeta will then re-strengthen into a powerful mid-latitude storm system, which will be developing in the waters to the east of Cape Cod. That's a journey of approximately 1,200 miles in just under 24 hours, which averages out to 50 miles per hour. That is faster than a vehicle on the interstate would be able to cover that distance, since the hurricane can take a direct route. The storm may impact the United Kingdom into early next week. Approximately 540,000 customers in Louisiana are out of electricity as Hurricane Zeta tracked through the heart of downtown New Orleans before roaring into Mississippi. Wind gusts of approximately 110 miles per hour were recorded in Mississippi, River Delta in the southeast regions of Louisiana, while those in Big Easy ranged between 80 miles per hour and 90 miles per hour. Zeta re-strengthened over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico before making landfall in Louisiana. Satellite imagery indicates that there was rather rapid intensification whilst it was on its forecast path. It is expected to bring potentially dangerous and life-threatening landfall when it hits New Orleans in Louisiana. It previously made landfall in the Mexican state of Quintana Roo as a Category 1 hurricane on Tuesday. It set a new record as it was the third named storm to make landfall in Quintana Roo in October. Prior to this, Gamma and Delta were the other two. The previous record for October Quintana Roo named storm that made landfalls was 2 in 1887 and the year 2005. Zeta re-emerged in the Gulf of Mexico and rapidly strengthened again over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Explosive storms are visible near the core, a sign that warm waters are taking effect and boosting Zeta's intensity. As expected, it became a powerful hurricane, and the maximum sustained winds have increased to near 95 knots or 110 miles per hour, with central pressure around 960 millibars. Its tropical storm force 50-knot winds are spread across the 60 to 90 mile radii around the eye of the storm. Hurricane Zeta was also expected to have a 20 to 60 radii of hurricane force, 64-knot winds. The wind field is growing and will soon start affecting the Louisiana coast as early as Wednesday. It is likely to become a Category 2 hurricane. Environmental conditions across the Caribbean Sea were very conducive for the development of Zeta, as a strong MJO wave supported upper-level divergence over the region. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ensure that you keep a watch out for flooding, high tides, downed trees, and of course, ensure that you have a generator, because it seems the winds coming from Hurricane Zeta have knocked down trees, which will knock down power lines, and there are many persons suffering from electrical outages across the United States. Thanks for watching and be safe.